let's welcome in Madhu Kela now. He's founder of MK Ventures. Madhu, good to have you with us here. Thanks for your time. I mean, we've all kind of, since as long as I guess we've all tracked markets and looked at corporate groups, Mr. Tata has been right there, as a leading light of industry. How would you remember Mr. Tata, and what kind of stood out for you over the years?
Hi, Prashant. First of all, deep condolences to the family. And I would say it's a big loss to the nation that we lost a leader like him today. Tata Group has been really like a visionary group in India. And they have not only stood for creating wealth, but making sure that they do it really with highest amount of ethical standards. They do it for the whole society, right? It is nothing personal about the group, and they are like equal to the brand India. And I don't know of any other industrial group which has dedicated themselves so much to the nation. And Ratan Tata led the group from the front. He took the India brand out of India. He made a global brand out of Tata Group in various countries, in various businesses. And I think his life was exemplary, something which is very, very inspiring.
Yes, absolutely, Madhu. Hi. We're seeing visuals on our screen actually right now. Mr. Tata's mortal remains are going to be moved to the NCPA here in Mumbai. And then, of course, it's open for the public to pay respects, I think, 3:30 onwards. And he will be, of course, accorded a state funeral. There's a 1 day of state mourning as well that has been declared. We will probably see a lot of dignitaries attending. Mr. Amit Shah has already, I think, confirmed his presence. Business leaders have been pouring in at the hospital itself and Breach Candy through the night. And, of course, the presence of the business world, of course, is going to be absolutely no surprise. But one imagines that perhaps there will be an outpouring of emotion, even for the common man, because Mr. Tata was one of the such tall leaders that the businesses that he built touched many, many, many millions and billions of Indian lives all around. So you can see there, I think the procession, the distance from his residence in Colaba to NCPA is not very large or not very big. But of course, it will probably take some time. And then, of course, the proceedings will continue over there. And of course, we are going to keep you updated and we'll keep bringing you up to speed. Madhu, just to go back to the legacy now, obviously the group has already put in place a succession plan. Each of the individual businesses are being managed by professional boards and professional management. What next, you think, in terms of a pivot for the group, as it, of course, remains deeply entrenched in the values that Mr. Ratan Tata leaves behind?
I think Mr. Chandra has done a phenomenal job of taking the legacy forward. And, what is most important is, we believe that there is so much corruption in India. But what Tata Group has been able to showcase, or just as an example, that even in a country like this, you can have the highest level of ethical standard, you can work for the entire society, and you can still be the largest group, you can still create the largest amount of wealth for stakeholders while making sure that you are very fair to the government, you're very fair to the society, you're very fair to the employees, you're very fair to people by and large. And what is most touching that, they have done it selflessly. Even Mr. Ratan Tata did it selflessly. To best of my understanding, the entire group's wealth is meant for society's goodness and for charitable purposes. So that is what will live like an example for many, many decades and maybe generations to come. And people will get a lot of inspiration from his life.
Hi, Madhu. Good morning. For me, I came from a home that was brought up on a Tata salary because my dad was at Tata's for 35 to 40 years old. So for me, that's, my connection with the Tata Group. But Madhu, what was your learnings? you've been a big investor. Now you're wearing the hat of an entrepreneur as well. And Mr. Tata, he fended off that Ford bid, when they tried to come ahead and put in a bid for Tata Motors. And years later, he went and took over JLR. In this entrepreneurial journey, what were the key learnings that you would have?
So, Nigel, more than the entrepreneurial journey, let me talk, what I feel from inside today. That, even in my life, I could walk a few steps. He ran the full marathon. If I walk a few steps, of the path which people like Ratan Tata have shown, I think I will feel more fulfilled going forward. And maybe we can do our bit for the society by and large, which somewhere we have started. But hopefully we get inspirations from people like Mr. Tata and really do it well. What the two things which stands out from a business perspective, he truly believed in his own conviction. So whenever you are convinced about an idea, like really Tata Group growing global, at the time when he took that bet of Tata Group growing global, no one in India was talking about it. He not only took one company, but he took several of Tata companies out of India and established a brand. Obviously, there were, ups and downs in the journey, but he truly believed in his conviction. He truly believed in idea that India should be and Tata Group should be a well-known brand. And second, I would say are the ethical standards which they have set for doing business. So those are two things which he really stands out for.
Okay, just pointing out while we continue our coverage, just an eye on the screen as well. The Nifty is just about 30 points up from an opening gap of around 80-85 points. Now, again, the gains are dwindling, very gently so, but there is a bit of a cool-off. Mid-cap index is relatively better off, 0.5% up. The Bank Nifty is looking much, much better, but it is the Nifty that's cooling off. Let's just quickly look at the reasons behind it. If you look at the Nifty, well, some of the big names would be Infosys, ICICI Bank, Lever. Then there is Cipla and Trent. These are some of the names on the weaker side of the screen today.
Okay, Madhu, I know maybe today is not the day to go deep dive into markets, but with you. But since we have you, if I can sort of ask you a quick question on markets as well, what's your sense? We had last week was a complete washout, right? Big selling from FIIs. What is your own sense? The low that we saw day before, is that going to hold? Will we revisit it in the near future? What's the trajectory from here as you see it?
Prashant, you are very good at it. So predicting the recent lows and whether it will break out or not. But what I would say that there are three things which market was worried about on the recent correction. One was the geopolitical situation, that this Israel war should not escalate beyond a point. Second was money shifting away from China. And third was some kind of a political uncertainty. If BJP were to lose all the states. So that last point has come as, I would say, the biggest sigh of relief for the market, if I can put it like that. The Haryana election victory, in my opinion, is a big thing from a political stability perspective and from the continuing good work perspective. And I do not feel that the money shifting in China is going to be a long-term issue. If at all, if China really gets revived, the money will come into emerging markets. And if we get money into emerging markets, India will get a disproportionate share of the same money. So I'm not worried. Just to say, I think we are in a really good wicket, Prashant. As always, I remain optimistic about the long-term future of the country and long-term future of the stock market. You are seeing the way retail participation is increasing, and there is so much left out feeling, my friend, I can't tell you. I am sure in that even 500, 700 point decline, I don't know the exact number, but I'm being told mutual funds got thousands of crores on those 2 days by way of subscription from retail public. So till that time that is there, I don't think we are going to stop in a hurry or markets are going to correct significantly. Having said that, we have had a massive rally in the last 3-4 years, and there are a lot of returns which have got accumulated. This is time to be stock specific. This is time to, make doubly sure that you are on the right companies and the right sectors, and your homework is of top quality. And you are really putting money from a medium to long perspective and not thinking of 3-6 months.
Oh, absolutely, Madhu. That advice is well taken. So, to come back to the Tata Group, let me ask you a question right there. So, of course, the businesses are firing and they're very, very different and distinct. But if I were to ask you that from now, say, for the next decade, if you were to bet on the key businesses that would perhaps be the biggest wealth creators of the group, of the conglomerate, which ones would they be? Which companies would you back?
So, I would say that Mr. Chandra's leadership has proven to be really exemplary. A lot of group companies have done really, really well. So, if I have to bet only on one company, it will be Tata Motors.
Tata Motors, which is actually going through a sort of interesting, restructuring on its own. There will soon be a demerger. So elaborate on that. Why Tata Motors versus the rest?
I would say, because the transition to EV and they being having the technological edge of being able to spend billions of dollars in last 3-4 years to establish that platform, and Land Rover and Jaguar being a global brand now, I think they have a really, really long runway ahead. I miss Rakesh Bhaiya and really miss his conviction on this company. What a bet he took.
Okay, no, absolutely, and that's another sort of legendary figure that we all miss here as far as Dalal Street is concerned. Madhu, it's a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us with your views and, of course, with your tribute to Mr. Ratan Tata on this somber day.
May rest in peace and you have a good way forward. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, we're up.